Welcome to the Rauta. Everybody who has been following the channel knows that I simply love beer. Well, beer and coffee and music obviously, but now it's beer time. I previously featured the other Iron Maiden beer which I got for review, and that was the Trooper IPA, India Pale Ale in type. Now, while pale ales, especially India Pale Ales, are hoppy and usually rather kind of a clear, this one is Stout, Fear of the Dark, one of the most classic Iron Maiden songs ever. This is by the same brewery, and I pardon this lack of light here. Sun is gonna go down soon, so I better hurry before it gets way too dark. That explains the rather grainy image. But here you have Iron Maiden Robinson Brewery, Fear of the Dark. It's stout, half a liter, 4.5, so it's probably gettable from most countries, from grocery stores and stuff like that. Now, this is not exactly a stout glass. It's a beer glass nevertheless, so it has to do for the time being. I guess my others are in the dishwasher or something like that. Let's open the bottle and enjoy the sniffing sound. Yeah, quite the silent type, I guess. Alright, and because everybody wants to see this part, let me just do it before the camera. Slowly and steadily. I am sometimes way too hasty when I pour my beer, and it ends up foaming way too much. Now, this is somewhat chilled. It has been outside, where I would say, looking at my phone, I would guess a few degrees outside, just to give you a little bit of estimation what's going on. It says 5 degrees at the moment. Cloudy, yes, very much so. And before that, this has been in my home office for quite a bit, which is not exactly 20 degrees. Well, close to, I guess, because I'm having a short-sleeved t-shirt here. Anyway, this is of course reflecting the outside, so you can see it's pretty gray. But if you can make out what the color is, it's very dark, obviously. Fear of the Dark being very fitting name. If I just move it a little bit more far away, you can see compared to my black CD shelf there, this is very black. Even if I take a look towards the sky, which is roughly that way, I can't see through. So you can see it's very dark, very black. Black! Like the show goes in the famous British comedy show. Fast show, by the way. Very strong smell here, considering this is alcohol, not some poop. It's very sweet, aromatic, almost like a caramel of sorts. Very sweet, and I don't know why I always get a little bit coffee feeling when I'm having stout. Maybe it's just my subconscious going in a weird way. Let's give it a taste. This is sweet, not too sweet, and definitely a nice bitter taste. Blending together, I'm showing my finger what I mean actually. When it first reaches the top of your tongue, it doesn't reveal the whole palette of the taste here. It's giving you a little bit of a teaser like what's to come. No, don't go there with the joke about coming. Alright, let's have another go. So towards the back of the mouth, as it goes down and spreads throughout your mouth, it gives way more taste than your initial dip into beer. Now the thing here is, I'm no expert, so don't take that as a biological point of view, but what I do know, what I have learned, is that, the tongue actually has different parts for a little bit different tastes. But your tip of the tongue should have kind of a universal part in a ways. That is how I have understood it. Correct if I'm wrong. And so usually you get basic idea what's going on with every given drink, beverage, or food or otherwise. And when you use the whole tongue, you kind of feel the area being covered by tasties. You get kind of a more open. And obviously, you have to smell things. If you don't smell, you don't really taste. Sometimes I have the problem because my nasal cavities are kind of too small or something like that. And when winter time I get stuck, I mean, I kind of start losing the taste patterns. I mean, like everything becomes a little bit vague. That's probably part of the reason why I like strong tasties. I prefer IPA beers, stouts, and sour beers. But no problem that at the moment I'm not having a flu or anything, so don't worry about it. But more tasting will be needed. The more you kind of run it into your mouth, the more it starts to foam. And it feels like when the oxygen is getting into the foam and, well, creating the foam, then it gets even more spread around your mouth and it becomes more tasty. Now, if the initial taste is a little bit bittery and also sweet at the same time, another 2 gulps you have here gives you even more taste. It's more like your mind and your mouth is, they are adjusting to the taste. It's more like they're calibrating itself. And usually the first taste can be a little bit misleading, even weird, maybe sometimes bad. But the more you have it going on in your mouth, I think it starts to adapt, and then your brain starts to figure out what's going on, and you either end up enjoying it a little bit more or then you end up hating it. Wow, this is really, really nice. Now, this is not the strongest of the stouts right there. I mean, you have to remember Imperial Stout is a very, very different breed than this kind of a traditional stout, which is more comparable to beers, say, like Irish beer, Guinness, Beamish, and stuff like that. But this is British beer. It's somewhat different. It's not as smooth and maybe not so easy to get into. That is, if you're used to the more foamy kind of Irish stouts. But this is very, very nice tasting. This is not mild at all, which I think means that this beer has a lot of character. It's not too thick either, which then again might be a deal breaker for some people who think they're like drinking like, how to say it, kind of a mixed rye bread or something. Like sometimes people hate or at least dislike stout beers because it feels like too much a mouthful. It's not that drinkable, but kind of too thick, if you will. Whereas this is very, very nicely enjoyable, but this is not something you, I don't know, go for a jog, gym, sauna, and then you just drink it, blah, 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 like that. This is not a thirst quencher, but rather something that you would maybe enjoy as a before the dinner or something, or maybe after that. Maybe you are just filled with great meal, maybe you're just wanting something for dessert and you don't want to eat anything more. You're already filled and all that stuff, and you need something to kind of bring another layer of taste to kind of calm things down and get a little bit tingy from the alcohol to get you kind of a more relaxed. I would say this is very, very suitable for that. You don't have to be Iron Maiden fan to like this. So my verdict would be, this is very much on the same level with that Iron Maiden the Trooper IPA, although very, very different and for very different use, I would say. I mean, obviously, if you just want to get kind of drunk while having good beers, these are very good examples of what you could be doing. But me, more like a wannabe connoisseur, the kind of a person who just wants to like good beer. I don't need anything else to do here. I'm just going to continue my work right after this one, but at least based on this more than a half a glass and more than a half a bottle here, I could say that this is a really nice stout available from your local grocery store or your favorite pub. And if your pub doesn't have it, at least ask if this would be available. For example, this is available in Finland, where I got this bottle from the distributor. Thank you guys. And it should be available at grocery stores and bars, which are, you know, kind of unclueless. I don't know why I wanted to use that word. I wanted to. So, Fear of the Dark, put some Iron Maiden on and enjoy some good beer, good stout, and cheers!